Today, we're diving into one of Hollywood's most iconic figures, John Wayne, and a fact that many find difficult to believe. Despite his patriotic image and war hero roles, the Duke never served in World War II, while many of his fellow stars rushed to enlist. We'll examine why he stayed in Hollywood, the criticism he faced, and whether there's more to this story than meets the eye. The year was 1941. Pearl Harbor had been attacked, and America was entering World War II. Across the nation, young men were answering their country's call, including some of Hollywood's biggest stars. Jimmy Stewart, who had already won an Academy Award, enlisted in the Army Air Forces and flew 20 combat missions over Nazi Germany. Clark Gable, the king of Hollywood, joined the Army Air Forces at age 41 and flew combat missions despite MGM Studios trying to prevent him from going. Henry Fonda abandoned his successful career to join the Navy. Directors like Frank Capra and John Ford put their Hollywood careers on hold to serve. Even baseball legend Joe DiMaggio traded his Yankees uniform for military attire. But John Wayne, he stayed in Hollywood. What makes this particularly interesting is the stark contrast between Wayne's public image and his personal choices. Here was a man who would later become the ultimate symbol of American patriotism and military heroism. The same actor who portrayed fearless soldiers and cowboys on screen chose not to join his fellow Americans on the actual battlefield. In films like The Fighting Seabees, Back to Bataan, and Sands of Iwo Jima, Wayne played brave military men fighting for their country. These roles cemented his image as the quintessential American hero. Yet, during the actual war, he was on a soundstage, not a battlefront. Wayne himself addressed this contradiction throughout his life. His explanation was that he wanted to serve, but was bound by contract to Republic Pictures. As he told interviewers, "I was exempted from service because of an old football injury to my shoulder and my age, and Republic Pictures fought to keep me, since I was their only star." Republic Pictures did indeed request deferment for Wayne, citing him as essentials to their production of war-themed movies that boosted national morale. However, many historians and biographers have questioned this explanation, noting that other stars managed to break their contracts or arrange for military service, despite studio objections. What Wayne rarely mentioned publicly was his complicated personal situation. When America entered WWI, he was 34 years old, had 3 children, and was in the midst of a failing marriage to Josephine Sayans. He had just begun finding major success after years of B-movies, with 1939's Stagecoach finally making him a star. As his friend and director John Ford, who served as a Navy commander during the war, reportedly said, Duke was caught between a rock and a hard place. He had a family to support, was finally making good money, and wasn't sure if his career would survive a multi-year absence. It's worth noting that Ford, despite their friendship, reportedly never fully forgave Wayne for not serving and would occasionally taunt him about it on set in later years. The decision haunted Wayne for the rest of his life. Fellow actor Kirk Douglas once recalled, "John was very sensitive about not having served. He became super patriotic as a result. Some veterans refused to watch his films. One famously confronted Wayne at a USO event, saying, 'How come you're always playing Marines and soldiers when you never served a day in your life?'" The irony intensified as Wayne became increasingly associated with conservative politics and strong pro-military stances in the 1950s and 60s. During the Vietnam War era, he became one of Hollywood's most vocal hawks, producing and starring in The Green Berets, a film strongly supporting American military involvement. I find it particularly interesting how this early decision shaped Wayne's later persona. It's almost as if his increasing patriotism and tough military stance became a form of compensation for what he hadn't done during World War II. But is this story really so simple? There are additional perspectives worth considering. Wayne did contribute to the war effort in other ways. He toured extensively with the USO, visiting American troops and boosting morale. His war films, while made in the safety of Hollywood, did inspire many Americans and helped maintain public support for the war effort. Additionally, not all who served criticized Wayne. General Douglas MacArthur reportedly said, "There are different ways to serve your country, and Wayne did his part by keeping up America's spirits." Some historians have also pointed to Wayne's genuine physical limitations. His shoulder injury from his football days at USC was real, and he had struggled with health issues that might have limited his military usefulness. When examining historical figures, we should resist the temptation to make simplistic judgments. Wayne's decision not to serve reflected a complex mix of personal circumstance, career ambition, and perhaps fear, something all humans experience. So what should we make of John Wayne's World War II absence? Was he truly a draft dodger who put his career above his country? Or was he a man caught in difficult circumstances who contributed in the ways available to him? The truth, as always, lies somewhere in between. Wayne's decision not to serve was certainly a failure to live up to the heroic image he portrayed on screen. It reveals the gap that often exists between our public personas and private choices. Yet his subsequent career and contributions to American culture can't be dismissed either. Through his films, Wayne helped define a particular vision of American strength and resilience that resonated with millions. Perhaps the most valuable lesson from this story is about the complexity of human nature. Even our heroes have flaws and make choices they later regret. Wayne himself reportedly considered his failure to serve as one of his life's greatest regrets. Thank you for watching this exploration of one of Hollywood's most enduring and complicated legends. If you found this interesting, please like and subscribe for more content that examines the surprising truths behind famous figures. Until next time, remember that history is rarely as simple as it first appears.